Hey guys, this is Cam for 15, and I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Bleach Arc Reviews for you guys as we are here to talk filler arcs. Now, remind you guys, I'm going to be reviewing this arc and then the next arc, which is the Goatee 13 Invasion arc for the next 2 weeks, and then I will review the Fullbringer arc and then the movies as I wait for Thousand Year Blood War arc anime to come out so then I can review that. But yes. You thought I would be giving you the Fullbringer arc after the crazy good Fate Karakura Town arc. But no, we're actually gonna go back in the story and we're gonna go focus on an arc that took place pretty much in the middle of the Hukamundo Fate Karakura Town arc, stuff like that. And that is the Zanpakuto Rebellion Arc, which it's another anime filler arc, and this is my favorite filler arc. This is my favorite filler arc. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Pretty much the premise behind this arc is if you ever watched Fairy Tail, the anime of Fairy Tail, and if you ever saw the Eclipse Celestial Spirits arc, and if you watch my arc review, I did not like that arc. I thought it was boring, I thought it was tiring, and I absolutely did not like that arc. It's the same arc like this with a few more added extras and backstory and stuff like that. But pretty much, it's the Zanpakutos pretty much rebelling against the Soul Reapers, who are their masters in a way. And they're led by this, we later find out the Zanpakuto spirit named Muramasa, who I'll talk about in a bit. But you know, that first episode when he turns all the Zanpakutos on the Soul Reapers, crazy scene. It was a crazy absolute scene. And you have it to where the Zanpakutos are fighting against their own Soul Reapers. Now, some of the Soul Reapers end up getting out of there and end up going to the world of the living. While Captain Yamamoto, he ends up being captured by Muramasa. And the one thing that was intriguing for the most part is the fact that Byakuya, he is actually working with the Zanpakutos. And that was the thing this arc was keeping my absolute intrigue. I was like, why is he doing this? Like, you know, he's attacking his own comrades because he's working with the Zanpakuto and Muramasa. Now, Muramasa apparently has something in the world of the living he's trying to obtain. But obviously Ichigo and his friends are in the way. Now, as for the other Zanpakutos, the Zanpakutos spirits each have their own individual characteristics, what makes them special, and they all have defined characters, which I honestly appreciated. I liked the fact that they gave them all characters, and it was actually very interesting when they would go up against their own masters. Like, their masters would pretty much say, or they would say, you would be abusing our power and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, really? They actually feel like that. Now, you later kind of find out it's Muramasa's power that's pretty much putting the Zanpakutos under the spell to where they're just taking orders from him. But some of the Zanpakutos end up breaking through, like Ichigo's with his and managed to save him. We also do get like holified monster like Ichigo again, which was crazy good. But you know, that was the whole thing. Now I'll say this. Another good, you know, and like I said, going back to the Byakuya thing before I continue on. The one thing that made me like, oh shit, he really is serious. Like when he looked like he killed Rukia's Zanpakuto spirit, which ended up with destroying her sword. And we find out like if a Soul Reaper defeats a Zanpakuto that isn't their own, well, the sword's gonna break and the Zanpakuto is pretty much dead. And that Soul Reaper won't have access to their Zanpakuto's powers. But eventually we see how Mayuri kind of fixes that and has it to where no, he can heal the Zanpakuto and get the spirit back with him. But you know, I will say this arc did drag on a bit, you know, with some of the fights and everything with the Soul Reapers, but it wasn't that bad, because the characters were the Zanpaktos were absolutely hilarious, but still, regardless, it still did feel a little bit dragged on. In terms of Ichigo and his friends, Ichigo and his friends absolutely, when I tell you, do not do absolute shit. They don't do anything. They legitimately don't do anything. I'm not even joking. It's like honestly a freaking joke. They all show up. Uryu, Orihime, and Chad all show up at the end when Muramasa is about to enact his final plan on reviving Koga, or breaking the seal off of Koga, um, Kogakushki, and that's all they do. And they kind of just don't even fight. They kind of just stand. They fight a bit, but they kind of just stand there and do nothing. Waste of a character. Waste of a character. Kisuke doesn't even do anything anyways either. So it's like, dude, what the hell, man? What the absolute hell? Like Yoriichi actually does more in this arc than what I've seen her do in the entire damn series. Well, up until the Huko Mundo Fake Karakura Town arc and stuff like that. But still, I'm like, okay, they're not doing shit. Wonderful. Which is kind of a negative of this arc. In a way, but regardless, I still like the arc. But the moral of this arc story is the fact that, Soul Reapers and their Zanpaktos are pretty much in a joint arm in arm lock, I guess, relationship, a coalition front where each of them has equal say of what they want out of each other. But we saw this at the end of the Fate Card Kuratown arc, where we saw how Ichigo's Zanpakuto spirit pretty much was very emotional when he knew that doing the final Getsugo Tensho, it would get rid of his soul reaper powers, and he actually cared and actually gave a damn. We see that these Zanpakuto spirits, they actually, when they get back, they actually do care about their soul reaper masters, and that's what in the final fight, Ichigo was trying to tell Muramasa of the fact, like, no, you and Soul Reapers and their Zanpakuto work hand in hand together. It's like a equal partnership between the two. Now, and that leads into the backstory of Kogakushki. Now, Kogakushki had kind of a tragic backstory. Him and Muramasa had a tragic backstory. Now, Kogakushki, again, is a member of the Kuchiki family line, the same way as Byakuya and Rukia are. And obviously we actually do see Gensho Kuchiki as well, and we see that Koga was a very talented Soul Reaper and he was very strong. Now there were some other Soul Reapers that didn't like him at all, and well, guess what? They did these things to him that pretty much got him bad press. And the whole thing is the fact that Gensho didn't really look like he was not really respecting Koga and saying like he can't do this and get back at them, and that's what he ends up doing. He just has this hatred in his heart, and he ends up getting back at them. And when he overhears the Soul Reapers that pretty much, I guess you can say in a way bully Koga, he gets revenge on them by pretty much murdering them, killing them, and this starts his whole arc of becoming a Soul Reaper that ended up killing people, and he felt like he was in the wrong. It was a tragic backstory because he felt like he did nothing wrong. He felt like, no, these people screwed me over, and you guys won't recognize that, and you guys won't take my side and recognize it. But at the end of the day, he did kill them. And that's when Yamamoto and Gensho pretty much come with the plan to seal away Koga because he becomes so strong in the world of the living. And it's kind of an emotional thing because Koga is kind of this mindset, everybody's betrayed him, even his own family has betrayed him. And it's actually fairly like sad. I actually do feel bad for him. In a way, I'm like, he was wrong, but he didn't need to take the approach he took. And we have it in the real world after he gets like unsealed. Him and Byakuya pretty much have a fight, and Byakuya is like, no, I'm gonna make right by my family's name, and I'm gonna stop you. Because you're pretty much you're a troublemaker, or you're a little bit of a black spot on our family name, and I have to take you down. We also do find out that Byakuya too wasn't really, was working alongside his Zanpakuto spirit. He ended up defeating his Zanpakuto spirit to have his Zanpakuto spirit, Sembo Sakura, pretty much listen to him and everything. They worked hand in hand with each other to try to trick Muramasa. And they wanted to find out what his ultimate plan, his ulterior plans were. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. The fact that Byakuya was just pretty much kind of a reconnaissance spy, finding out what the thing was, even if he had to go up against his Soul Reaper brother, in which I think there was a fight. Yeah, I think when he ends up going to a fight, Toshiro tells him, like, listen, dude, I understand what you're doing, but listen, some of the other Soul Reapers are still hurt by what you did. Like, what you did was absolutely uncalled for, and you didn't need to do that. And I don't know if they're gonna trust you. Which I'm like, oh please. I'm like, these are the same guys that are willing to turn their backs on Ichigo when he doesn't do shit. But oh, guess what? Byakuya does something wrong. We don't see any repercussions of the fact that, oh, the Soul Reapers, and I understand it's a filler arc, but none of the Soul Reapers are like looking at giving Byakuya the side eye, like, this motherfucker tried to freaking turn on us, but whatever. So yeah, but Byakuya takes him down. But in the meantime, Ichigo's fighting against Muramasa. He's telling the whole thing, Soul Reapers and Zanpakutos are pretty much a 50-50 thing, and they fight together because they both equally care much about each other. And yeah, and Ichigo ends up stopping Muramasa, ends up defeating him, and saves the day. And that's kind of where the arc ends. The Zanpakutos, there's a little few filler episodes. The Zanpakutos pretty much chilling out with the rest of the episode, and stuff like that. But ultimately, I know this is pretty much a fairly short arc review. But there's really nothing to talk about. I definitely did enjoy this arc. This arc was really cool, and I liked a lot more. I was actually intrigued because they had an interesting storyline, and then the main villains of the arc were very complex, if not my favorite main villains of this arc. Of the not just this arc, but all of Bleach filler. It seriously is the best, and this is me even after watching the Goatee 13 Invasion arc. I already got done watching that. But Kogakushki and Muramasa, there are some goated ass villains in terms of the filler villains, like especially Koga. Koga felt like he was wrong. He was like, you know what, fuck this shit. Yeah, I'm taking things in my own hands. And he thought what he was doing was the right way to handle things. But obviously that's against what the Soul Society would want Soul Reapers to do. But he felt like he was being outcasted. He felt like he was being ostracized for, guess what, things that just didn't, he felt like weren't his fault. He felt like he was being judged unfairly. And guess what? It takes him down this dark path of going evil pretty much because guess what? He just felt it. And we see it to where Muramasa, his relationship with him, with Koga strained. Like we even see how, Koga actually even impales Muramasa. Muramasa deeply cares about Koga, and that's why he did everything he could to revive him. But Koga has not the same feelings towards him. Because he felt like Muramasa betrayed him as well. And we see this whole dynamic between the two of the fact that Muramasa questions like, why are you like this? Koga, like, you don't have to be like this. It's okay. It's some really good stuff. But this arc was good. I don't really find any negatives in this arc. I did enjoy this. You can say the arc did drag on a bit and it ended up becoming repetitive with some things, but I felt like the arc was cool. And I very much enjoyed it. And yeah, but that's kind of all I gotta say about this arc. It's my favorite Bleach arc. And yeah, but other than that, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section, well, it's my favorite Bleach filler arc. Don't say it's my favorite arc in general of the Bleach. My favorite arc in general had to be this entire Aizen Saga. Probably the freaking Fate Card Town arc was my favorite arc of all of Bleach. I don't know. No, I don't know. I honestly don't know, man, what my play. One of these days I'll find out. I think I might like the Soul Society arc, to be honest, the most. It might be my favorite arc in Bleach because I just like that arc so much. But regardless, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's Bleach arc reviews, as well as subscribing to get more Bleach content and stuff like that. But next week, we'll be talking about the next filler arc and the last filler arc of the anime, and that is the Goatee 13 Invasion arc. So next week, we'll talk about that and get my thoughts. And then only in a few more weeks, only in 2 weeks, we'll talk about the last canonical arc in the anime. And then stuff like that. And then I'll review the movies too. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.